We're at the Japanese Garden in Washington Park, 5.5 acres, 5 separate gardens here, from the flat garden to the sand and stone garden, which is our background for today. So glad you're with us on Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Ken Ackerman. Well, some startling statistics. If you're a teen in the foster program in Oregon, only 2% of teenagers who age out of the program will ever go on to get a college degree, and only 1 in 5, well, actually 1 in 5 will be homeless. We are talking to someone right now who's trying to turn all that around. It's Program Manager of the Powerhouse Mentoring Program, Maria Hein. Thank you very much for being with us. Startling. I mean, you're sitting here telling me this, and my eyes are glazing over. I couldn't believe it. It's a segment that you don't hear a lot about, those who age out of the foster system.
It's true. We're actually fortunate because we're finally starting to pay some attention to this group. The last decade have been some really positive changes in the way that we attempt to support this group of really vulnerable young people. And they are our kids, after all. The state of Oregon has taken on the responsibility to raise these kids because their families weren't able to. And the statistics haven't been great, you're right. But we're finally talking about what the problems are, and we're attempting to do something about it. Our mentoring program is one example of that. We know that youth that are served by a quality mentoring program have some better outcomes. They're more likely to improve their school attendance, their GPAs go up slightly, they get along better with their peers, they're less likely to initiate fights, they get along better with their teachers and have a better attitude about school.
Let me find out more about your mentoring program. One-on-one with the teenager, is that how it is?
Yes, it is. A volunteer mentor is matched one-on-one, so the teen gets all that concentrated attention from a caring adult who's been very carefully screened and very thoroughly trained before he or she is ever matched. Right. And then they make their own choices about what they do in the community. We try to give them a lot of support and suggestions and ideas for free and low-cost activities, but we like the idea that the teens have some control over how they spend the time with their adult mentor. These are young people who don't always feel like they have a lot of control in their lives. Decisions are made about them and for them that they sometimes never even see. And so this is an opportunity for them to have a relationship with someone who's not paid to be there, who simply wants to be there for them, and to have some control over it. And we think that's important.
And what type of person is a mentor?
A mentor can be anyone who's 21 and over, can pass our background test, so they have to go through a pretty rigorous screening, including FBI fingerprint check, personal references. We look at their DMV record if they're going to be using their automobile.
When you were saying DMV, I thought you were going to say DNA. I mean, thinking that is a rigorous background check.
No, not quite that rigorous. But beyond that, if they can listen, if they can be attentive, if they can be supportive as opposed to being judgmental, and if they've got 10 hours a month for 1 year.
That's where I was going, 10 hours a month.
10 hours a month for 1 year. And I'll tell you, Ken, there aren't enough men out there who are stepping forward to do this. We've got boys on the waiting list who would love to have somebody to shoot hoops with, who would love to go for a hike in the gorge, who would love to just hang out, maybe take advantage of some of the free Blazer tickets we get now and then. It's not as hard to be a mentor as most people think.
No, and fortunately, I learned that at a younger age with St. Mary's Home for Boys, Children's Cancer Association, and it sounds like your program is one that I'll have to look into as well. And how many right now are in the foster system that are of teenage?
In the Multnomah County area, we have at any given time, about 900 to 1,000 youth who are 13 years or over.
And how many mentors?
We have about 30 right now.
So you need some, is what you're saying.
We need some.
And how can people get a hold of you?
We have a website, www.powerhouseprogram.org, or they can email info@powerhouseprogram.org.
Maria Hein, thank you very much for being with us on Comcast Newsmakers. And we thank you for being here as well from the Japanese Gardens. For the crew here, I'm Ken Ackerman. Make it a great day.